This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news of the business of podcasting. Brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Tom Webster. Here's what you need to know for today, Monday, January 22nd. First, from Veritone One, not all podcast ads are created equal, and here's why. While YouTube is a dominant force in platforms for podcast consumption, native YouTube ads can be a jarring experience for audiences, and they could backfire for brands. Sounds Profitable's study Sound You Can See, Podcasting's Video Dilemma, found the native YouTube ad was the top complaint of respondents. 43% used the term annoying, followed by disruptive, too frequent, irrelevant, and too long. Words that I hope do not describe this podcast. The way to circumnavigate this issue is to focus on host-read ads when you're looking at YouTube, a format that both takes advantage of podcasting strengths and allows for more natural transitions to and from advertising content within the program itself. From Next in Media, that's the newsletter that Mike Shields writes, sports has a Gen Z problem. While sports content is no slouch when it comes to ratings, Gen Z raises a question. How does an industry get a generation raised on short-form edited content to sit down for a live game? Both Gen Z and Alpha have a different relationship with online media. Former Epic Games executive Dylan Collins proposes the two youngest generations are far more likely to be creators instead of consumers when it comes to content. Mike Shields takes that into consideration when pitching the future of sports content as a more communal, interactive experience. Perhaps even to the point of Fortnite collaborations like Travis Scott's in 2020 and the Eminem experience last December. With the rise of sports podcasting, younger audiences have more opportunity to get attached to individual players, which could lead to more Gen Z being invested enough to tune in for games, live on linear TV, or on streaming service simulcasts. From Pacific Content, are podcasts cool again? Headlines about podcasting's bubble and decline were a dour presence throughout 2023, but Pacific Content proposes the cool factor for podcasting never left. It simply shifted focus. Major streaming services are regularly producing podcasts to supplement their traditional media. Hot influencer celebrities like Emma Chamberlain are arriving on the scene and immediately shooting up the charts. And content creators who already had a background in video production, especially with YouTube, dovetail perfectly into podcasting's influencer-based ecosystem. Chamberlain stepped into podcasting with a resume of major brands that she'd already collaborated with, along with a crowd of similar creators like Alex Earl and Girl with No Job. As Matt Mize says in the article, where there's attention, there's opportunity. Brands can harness the power of podcasts run by influencers who've cut their teeth doing similar work for years and get the benefit of their built-in engaged audience. And in Hot Pod, NPR's new podcast chief, Colin Campbell, on the broadcast to podcast strategy and how the network navigates the new podcasting landscape. Campbell, previously of show development at Gimlet, shares reflections of NPR's 2023 and where the organization's podcasting arm aims to go next. For NPR's broadcast to podcast strategy, he points to PodTrack data showing NPR News Now climbed 3 positions in December to reach the top podcast in unique monthly U.S. audience. Outside daily news, Campbell points to new seasons of Embedded, NPR's series showcasing both short-form and long-form narrative series in one feed. And through budget cuts and downsizing last year, a common concern was NPR's history of long-form journalism being put on the back burner. Campbell says funding earmarked for continuing seasons of Embedded will serve as a commitment that NPR plans to keep that content going. And for the rest of the news, Amplify's Steve Goldstein writes the truth about podcasting's measurement makeover. Podbean's final free live event of Podcast Launch Month is this Thursday, and healthcare is projected to invest over $36 billion in U.S. advertising this year, which podcasting, I hope, gets a healthy cut of. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The Download is written and produced by Brian Barletta, Gavin Gaddis, and me. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Tom Webster. Download us again tomorrow.